Hello. I got another little short story to tell you today, and it's about the New York Central Railroad. The New York Central Railroad bordered our property, our farm, on the south side. But before I start the story, I got to tell you, today on Facebook, I got a thing from my friend Dave, and Dave said that Antifa is planning on attacking the biker rally in Sturgis, South Dakota. I thought, wow, I hope they have that on pay-per-view. I'll sign up. But anyhow, it's just a crazy world. People are so stupid, it's unreal. But anyhow, better not get on my soapbox. Anyhow, the New York Central Railroad was on the southern border of our farm. The earliest memory I have of seeing that of the railroad was seeing a troop train right at the end of, towards the end of World War II, going through town. And I was with my dad, and we saw the train pull in, and my dad explained to me they were going to some base. They were headed eastbound, so I don't know exactly where they were going, but it was full of soldiers, and most of them, a train stopped in town, and they were all hanging out the windows and stuff. And actually, 2 or 3 of them waved to me, and I always thought, gosh, I hope I wasn't the last ones that they ever got to wave to. But that was a pretty sad time in our lives. But anyhow, like I said, it was right at the end of the war, so hopefully they all got to go back home to their families. But because I can still see the guys hanging out the little windows on the passenger cars waving to me. It was a moving moment for me. But I was thinking that may have been the only passenger train to go through town. But then I do recall seeing the train numerous times, and there was always one passenger car, and plus a mail car, and then some box cars and a tank car or something. But so, and then since then I see Nancy Barlow has posted in there pictures of teenagers getting on a train to go to high school in Niagara Falls. So I guess there indeed was some passenger train traffic. I never did get to ride on one, but the main thing that I remember the most about the train was a steam locomotive. And those engines, they were so scary to us kids. The heat, the noise, the steam, the whistle blowing, it was all stuff to be feared. So our big question was how to get a ride. Well, the solution was quite simple, really. Me and my friends, we went to our farm, and we picked a big old basket of fruit, 8-quart basket, so big. It was full of grapes and peaches and whatever. And so the next day we were in town waiting, and the train come in, and they pulled up to the train depot there, and here's engineer looked out at us, and here's these 3 boys down there with a basket of fruit, offering it to him. So he waved us up. I couldn't believe it. But he waved us up, and when he did, we got in that thing. I mean, I was scared to death of that engine, but it had my respect, I'll tell you, because it was hot. I can still remember the fireman stepping on this pedal that opened the doors to the firebox, and he would shovel in more coal in there. And man, that was a scary thing to me. I'm getting surrounded by hummingbirds here today. They're so pretty. But anyhow, I have so many memories of that heat hitting us But and anyhow, the engineer, he would let us ride with him when he was going around switching cars and stuff. And this was the old Hojack train, you know. And in fact, I never did know where the Hojack came from. I just thought it was a nickname of some sort. But it turns out, according to Nancy Barlow's research, that the engineer, he used to pull into town, and when he was trying to stop the train there at the depot, he would holler out, "Whoa, Jack!" And then soon it became the Hojack. But I remember when I was real young, at the back of our farm, real close to the cold storage pond, there was a hobo camp there, where the guys that were looking for work would camp out there. And I thought, man, that was really wild. But so anyhow, we had numerous trips around town, going to the lumber yard and coal cars going into the cold storage where they sold coal, obviously. But it was just a fascinating memory for me. But then all too soon, the diesel or the steam train, steam engine disappeared, and it was replaced by a diesel locomotive. Well, the thrill is gone. You know, I mean, it just wasn't the same as all that metal clanging and the rush of the steam, and it was just something. So anyhow, the diesel engine, it was one of those flat nose, square nose switcher engines that was used for just short hauls and for moving cars around in the rail yard. But it was perfect for our little line that ran out to Rochester. And so anyhow, it was this one year, it was getting close to Halloween, and the mischief was starting, and yeah, I was a big part of the mischief. I wasn't always a good choir boy. And it was nearly Halloween, and the mischief was beginning. Wouldn't it be cool if that engine hit something like a pumpkin? There was a curve in the track near the farm that was selected because the engineer would not be able to stop once he spotted it. The first attempt was less than exciting. We put this giant pumpkin out in between the rails on the track, and we waited. And finally, here come the engine, and come tearing down the track. It was heading back towards Niagara Falls, and it come around the bend, and boy, we were about ready to wet our pants. Because I said, surely a pumpkin can't derail a train, and it didn't. But anyhow, it came around the train, and the engineer spotted it. He's blowing the horn like crazy. Thud. And that was it. Nothing. So the train went by, went out, and looked, and it took off the top portion of the pumpkin, and that pumpkin was pretty much devastated. But that was all there was to it. So well, that was less than climatic, you know. So there was only one solution: more veggies. The next night, and I'm not going to mention the names of the boys that were involved in this with me, and so I'm willing to take the heat just in case there is no statute of limitations on a heinous rail crime. So anyhow, we went to work this one evening, and we knew the train was going to be coming along about 9 o'clock that evening, and we went to work, and we were robbing our fields and the neighbors' fields. We were getting everything we could: pumpkins, squash, cabbage, you name it, all kinds of melons, stuff. And we made this pile on the track, and it must have been, I had said it must have been like 4 feet tall, but I think it's more like maybe 3 feet at the most. And we made this big pyramid pile of veggies. And we're still working on it. All of a sudden, in the distance, coming from Wilson, we heard the horn, blowing for a crossing. Oh, time to run hide. So away we went. We're hiding in a cornfield. I'm thinking again, surely a bunch of melons couldn't derail a train. Nah, no way. And but anyhow, we're there and in the cornfield watching, and all of a sudden here he come, and boy, he was highballing. He must have been going, oh wow, at least 30 miles an hour. He was flying. And anyhow, we had run for cover, and well hidden in a cornfield, here she comes. She's moving fast. And yikes, can veggies derail a train? Around the bend she comes, 50 feet from the pyramid. It is spotted. Full horn blowing constantly. Boys needing a change of underwear. That's for sure. Thud. No derailment. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. The train keeps going. I bet there was some serious talk, maybe some laughter in that engine. The next day, I snuck out to see the carnage. Yep, mixed vegetables for a quarter of a mile. It was a mess. Wow. I hung around town the next day. I hung around town till noontime, till I heard a train coming, going the other way, heading towards Rochester. And when it pulled into town, I looked, and there was no doubt in my mind that that was the same engine that hit my pile of melons, because it was the whole front of that thing and down the catwalks on the side. I mean, there was pieces of melons and stuff everywhere on that train. They didn't bother to clean it up. And so I was certain it was. And like I said, that's pretty much the end of the story. But anyhow, the thrill was there when the steam was there, and the thrill was gone when the diesel arrived. It just, like I said, it wasn't the same, and it never will be. It's progress, I guess, economics and all that good stuff. But as a kid, I'm so thankful that I got to ride on a steam engine. Actually, in the engine with the guy. I'm sure that there was all kinds of rules broken there. But anyhow, the engineer was happy to have us kids on there, and he really enjoyed the fruit. So it's just the way life goes, and it was so cool. But anyhow, like I always say, no matter where you go, there you are. It's just that simple. And for that quote, I thank Garrison Keillor, one of my favorite writers and storytellers. Anyhow, have a great day, and whatever you do, stay safe. Wear your face mask. I always do one off my porch here. I've already lost one friend from COVID. I don't want to lose any more. If anybody else leaves, I hope it's me. Can't take any more sadness. Just all laughter about train engines and pumpkins and whatever. So anyhow, have a great day. Bye.